In this video, I'm going to show you how to download and set up the LX Navigation Zeus simulator. First thing you have to do is to go to the LX Navigation website, then go to Support. Scroll down to the Zeus, and then choose the Zeus 4.3, which is the unit we have. Under Software and Updates, you will see there are currently two simulators, so choose the latest one and download that to your hard drive. I already have that, so I'll cancel here. Under the Maps section, you'll want the map for your particular area. In our case, it's the UK. So download this 651 megabyte file to your hard drive. Again, I'm not going to do that because I've already done it. Having downloaded the simulator, you install it in the usual way. Just accepting all the defaults. And I'll go through the process of copying the files onto your hard drive. So it's copied it to the C drive under LX Navigation. Under here, I think it's useful to create a folder for your other files, so I'll just create a files folder here. In the simulator directory /folder, then there's a bunch of files. But you'll find on your desktop, if you've accepted all the defaults, a little icon to run the program. So if we run that, say that yeah, we're happy for it to run, and it runs through a little tutorial. Just accept all these. We don't want to see this message again. And this is what you see the first time you power it up. Now this is not for the 4.3 version of the Zeus that we have. But before we can change it, let's just continue to Zeus. No, I still can't change it. Accept all the defaults for the moment. And it starts up. Based in Slovenia. But what we want to do is change it to the 4.3 version, so select that. We've got the horizontal, and then we have to restart the program. This is a bit more like what we actually have. So we don't want to show this message again, so select that one first and then continue to Zeus. And again, we'll just select all these as the default. Now if you look at this screen, you'll see it's not the same as been shown in the other three videos. For example, there's a little micro SD card slot here which we don't have, and some of the text on the buttons is different. That's because I've taken one of the overlay files and modified it to more reflect what we actually have. That file happens to be under Images Simulator, and the file is this bg800x400a.png file. So what I've done is in a graphics program is just modified this graphic to more match what we actually have in reality. It doesn't affect the functionality in any way. Now that the program's installed, you'll want to use a folder on your hard drive as a simulated USB drive, and the way you do that is under the File menu, set USB drive, and here you can choose the LX Navigation files folder that we created earlier and choose that directory. Back in the simulator, if you go to the setup page, choose transfer and scroll down to charts and transfer charts from USB, and it scans the simulated USB folder and it's found the uk.cus file, this one here. So we'll install that. Well, we'll select it first, then we'll install it. So we'll exit out of this. Still shows that we're in Slovenia. But you go to navigate to airfield and then use the name filter. Let's see if we can find something a bit more local. And as you can see, it's found two in fact. So we'll just choose Kinross Portmoak. And we've moved to somewhere you might recognise if you're a Portmoak flyer. You're going to want an airspace file to load into the simulator, and the best way to do that in the UK is to use the asselect.uk website. There's various options you can set up. Choose the format Open Air. It doesn't actually use the cub format that you might be familiar with, but you just, having set up all the options, click the download button, save the file, and then just save it into the LX Navigation Files folder. I already have done that, but we'll just do it again. Having downloaded your airspace file, you now have to load it into the Zeus. So go to Setup, Transfer, Airspace, Transfer from USB. You can see I've got two at the moment in the simulated USB device, but we'll choose the one we downloaded from ASSelect. It doesn't automatically start using it, you have to go down to the AS file 1 and select it from there. And now when you come back out, it's got the airspace information. You're also going to need turn points, which are stored in a CUP file, CUP. There are various ways to get this, but I use a program called TP Select. Having downloaded and installed this program, you can set a center location. You can set a range from that center location. 1,000 kilometers gives you all the ones in the UK. Make sure the file format is set to CUP, and then just save turn points. Save it to the LX Navigation Files folder. I've already done that, I'll overwrite it again, and that's all there is to it. You can see all these aircraft icons around. These are simulated FLARM aircraft. As you start flying around in the simulator, they'll follow you around, and I find them quite annoying. You can turn them off by going to Setup, choose FLARM, under Show Objects till Zoom, change that to Never. And they've gone. One thing I haven't covered in previous videos is the customization of the indicators, these items you can see on the screen. The way you do that is through Setup, then Layout. Now you can have separate indicators, different indicators on different navigation modes. So we've got turn point, airport and task, but if we want to change the indicators on all of them, you just select all of them and then edit layout. Now a long press on the bottom button and then select indicators gives you the option to turn on and turn off the indicators you can see on the map screen. So let's say, for example, we want to turn off the FLARM indicator and what's called the follow indicator, which is used during lead and follow. So we can turn them off and then exit out. And as you can see, they've gone. One last thing, you may have noticed that the map here doesn't really show the topography, it's all very white and bland. If you want a bit more colour to see the elevations, then if you go to Setup, User Interface and Map Settings, the Map Palette gives you the option for different colour schemes. So if you choose something a bit more colourful, then exit out. You can see it's a bit more realistic now. So with that, I'll call an end to these videos. I hope you found them useful. I hope you get to get some flying and try the Zeus in reality. But use the simulator for practice, because you really don't want to be practicing when you're in the air.